What's going on, my geeks? I'm Kakuyo Otaku, and welcome to episode 20 of Home-Based Serenity, where today I'm talking about the version 11.50 update to Fortnite and how it's impacted the game and the entire community. This is literally the 20th video I've uploaded on this channel, and I could not think of a better way to mark this milestone. I just wish it was under better circumstances. I didn't think I would ever do a video on an update to the game because I'm not someone that is able to do one of these videos as quickly as content creators who do this for a living, but I had to make this one. A lot of the community are up in arms as this is the last update of the season and we are not getting what we were told we should get by the end of the season, the completed locker allowing us to use our skins and back blings from Battle Royale in Save the World. This was first talked about all the way back in Season 9, if I remember correctly, and they were working on it throughout Season X. During Season X, we got the first iteration of that locker, which allowed us to use our emotes from Battle Royale. Then, with version 11.20, we got the next bit where we could now apply wraps to our ranged weapons. At the start of Chapter 2 Season 1, we were told that the locker would be completed by the end of the season. I know the image says chapter. Magus later confirmed on Reddit that this was a typo and that they meant season. As the season went on, we heard nothing more about locker completion. This has been the longest season in the history of the game, and we still haven't heard anything until today. There were a lot of people who had high hopes that the final part of the locker allowing us to use our skins and backlinks from Battle Royale would be released with the release of the version 11.50 update. However, in the accompanying Homebase status report, we were advised that Homebase is in the final stages of bringing outfits and backlinks to your locker, and there are still a few critical bugs that need squashing before it's ready to release. Because of this, we're now aiming for the version 12.10 update for outfits and backblings as we continue testing and fixing issues. Your commanders will be ready to battle in style in the near future. And this is where the problem comes in, at least the biggest problem. We went for a couple of months with no updates about the progress on finishing the locker. And now, at the last minute, they tell us it's delayed until version 12.10. And this was certainly disappointing to us all. I personally have a ton of skins in Battle Royale that I am excited to get to use in Save the World. Plus, I know that once Battle Royale skins are able to be used in Save the World, it will potentially create a new revenue stream for Save the World, something that it sorely needs, especially before it goes free to play. But we'll get to that in a moment. There was also the issue that we now know we are getting nothing new for the rest of this season. This week, with the store reset on Friday, February 7th, we're getting Love Ranger Jonesy back in the store, for the third time, I believe. That same day, we're also getting the Heartbreaker crossbow back in the store. Then, with next week's content update, on Friday, February 14th, we're getting Anti-Cuddle Sarah back into the store. She was unlocked in the Lovestorm event questline last year along with Fallen Love Ranger Jonesy. So, again, old content, nothing new. They did mention that the new Chaos Physics engine is in the game, which is new, but we are unsure of how this will impact Save the World, if at all. And that's basically all we're getting with the version 11.50 update. You may think with the way that I've been talking that I'm about to throw hands at Epic over this like a lot of the rest of the community. Instead, I want to have a conversation here and tell you why, even after all of this time and the lack of content and communication, that I still have hope. I find myself in a really weird place where I'm an endgame player, but I've also not been playing as long as a lot of the endgame players, but I've also been playing longer than the newer players. So I feel like I'm in this interesting middle ground, and that's why I wanted to make this video, to give my perspective, for whatever it may be worth. Let's talk about the recycled content first. You may not think about this on a normal basis, but Save the World is constantly bringing in new players. I myself have only been playing Save the World since late November of 2018, and I'm constantly hearing about Battle Royale players wanting to come and try this game out. For me, I missed Love Ranger Jonesy the first time around in 2018, and the Heartbreaker crossbow as well. While the Heartbreaker crossbow isn't a great weapon, Love Ranger Jonesy is a great hero for anyone that loves Shockwave as I do. So had they not brought him back last Valentine's Day when I was playing the game, I'd have never gotten him, or I'd have been forced to use a hero recruitment voucher on him, something we cannot actually purchase yet, although I do hope that they allow us to someday. And as someone who loves collecting things, I want to complete my collection book too. I still need the other 3 heroes from the Matchmakers and Heartbreaker set for the collection book. I have all 4 leveled up to 130 in my hero inventory, but I don't have them all in the book. I got Snuggle Specialist Sarah again this last week because thankfully they brought her back. So I'm excited to see that all of them are coming back. I did hypothesize in the videos earlier this week that you would see Fallen Love Ranger Jonesy come back, and it seems that I was right. We don't have confirmation of his return yet, but I will be very surprised if he doesn't, as they are bringing back the other 3. Anyway, as you can see, I have my collection book up to level 313, and I definitely want to complete it. So the chance to actually get more heroes, to get duplicates to put in the book, is very exciting to me. With Anti-Cuddle Sarah, I did get her from the quest line last year, but I'm also excited for anyone that has come to the game in the last year and missed her the last time around because they either weren't playing or hadn't started playing yet. I can now get one for the book, and they can get there first. Same with Snuggle Specialist Sarah last week. I mean, I get why people who have played for a long time are upset with recycled content, but I think it's okay to bring them back so that newer players can get those heroes and try them out in their loadouts. In fact, I think it's needed. The 3 that have come back or are coming back are all great heroes that are necessary, in my opinion, for certain builds. Shouldn't newer players have a chance to obtain them too, outside of the hero vouchers? I think they should. On the other hand, should we also get new content for long-time players? Well, yeah, of course we should. But I think there's more to this story than most are considering, and to do that, I feel like we need to look at the bigger picture here. When we first started this season, it seemed like this season was going to be a short 8-week season, as the season timer in Battle Royale was saying that the season would end around December 12th, which was right before Epic was going to go on holiday break. Then, a few weeks before that, near the end of November, Epic posted this article here saying that the season had been extended to early February. Now, this upset a lot of people on both sides of the community, and I can understand why. I don't know why it was extended that long. Perhaps it has something to do with the Chaos Physics engine? Maybe they wanted to make sure that it was in before Season 2 started? I honestly don't know. Only Epic knows the reason for the first extension, but I do have a theory about the second extension. The original date that leakers found for the beginning of the next season after the first extension was actually this week. But what else has happened this week? The release of Apex Legends Season 4. Epic are smart enough to realize that their players play other games. Think about this from the Battle Royale side only for a second. Epic didn't know when they extended the season that it was going to end up clashing with the release of Apex Season 4. Now, obviously, Epic won't actually admit to this, but I feel this is a big part of the reason why we got the new delay to February 20th. This would give people 2 weeks to play the new season of Apex before the new Fortnite season begins. It's good to space things out like that so that people don't get oversaturated with new content in the same week. Plus, as an actual plus to all of this, Epic has also scored a brand new crossover with the new DC movie Birds of Prey. We're getting Harley Quinn themed cosmetics in the Battle Royale store and some challenges for them, so I'm pretty excited about that. In fact, one could hypothesize that this is only happening because of the delay, which is why I said it's a plus. And that brings us right back to the big issue, the locker. This is the main point of ire for most of the players, I think, that the Save the World locker still looks like this, with no ability to use skins or back blings, when we were told it would happen before the end of the season. And the fact that there has been no communication about this since the wraps got added. No mention of delays, nothing. Here are my thoughts on that. Put yourself in their shoes. You realize that you won't make the goal of the end of the season for the outfits and back blings. Or you at least fear it won't happen in time. So you push on. Try as hard as you can with the limited resources available. When it becomes clear you will not make that goal, like the last update of the season, you have to say something at that point. The community then blows up. But imagine if they told us that when they first suspected they might not make it. I feel like it's possible that they feared the community would have been angry longer and that it would have been more detrimental to the game to say they were worried that they were not going to hit their goal. Imagine if we knew a month ago. That would be 2 months rather than a month that the community would be upset at Epic over this. So they tried their best to push through and get it completed. They didn't want to deliver bad news until they actually had to because 1, they hoped it would actually get done, and 2, they knew people would have less time to be mad at them. Obviously, I don't know if this is what happened or not, but what I do know is that this is basic human nature. If you have bad news to deliver, it's normal for people to wait until the very last minute hoping the bad news will go away or change, and that there will be no reason to deliver said bad news. Does that make it right? Not necessarily. Death Grip and I talked about this update at length today, and when I told him about this idea, he actually said the same thing that Demon Joe France himself later said on his stream, that had we had communication and Epic had told us that there were some issues arising, we'd have been upset, but we may just have cheered them on in the meantime. And I definitely agree with that. I was just trying to get into Epic's head and figure out why they didn't say something sooner, trying to figure out what their reasoning was. Some say that this shows that Epic doesn't care about Save the World, and on that point, I would actually disagree. Last year, Fortnite made Epic $1.8 billion, mostly from the cosmetics in Battle Royale. The larger player base for this game is in Battle Royale, so the higher-ups at Epic, those in charge of how the money earned is spent, are going to pour more money into Battle Royale than they will into Save the World. That's why Battle Royale gets so much more that we don't get. This is also tied into the locker delay, in my opinion. The dev team for Save the World and the community managers are extremely passionate about this game. They have to be, but they can only do so much with the funds they are given, and they have a much smaller team than what the Battle Royale side has. That's why it takes longer to develop things for Save the World. And it's also why we have a lack of content. Again, these are all just my opinions, of course. But they have so much of their team dedicated to getting this locker completed as quickly as possible that they can't necessarily develop a bunch of new content for the game at the same time. Also, since I mentioned this earlier, they weren't planning on another 2-week extension because of the release of Apex Season 4, so they really didn't have time to develop any new content at the last minute for these last 2 weeks of the season. All of this leads me to why I still have hope. The Save the World dev team are hard at work right now completing the locker with the goal of getting it to us a couple of weeks into the next season. They know how important it is to the game, so they want to make sure they get this right. Once we can use our Battle Royale skins in Save the World, that unlocks a new revenue stream that can be put towards development on Save the World. Plus, it might also entice even more Battle Royale players over to the game. It's going to be a huge win if it's done right. And I am perfectly fine with them taking the time to get it right, which is exactly what I feel like they are doing. I also know that once the locker is completed, they will be able to retask those devs onto developing more content for Save the World. New heroes, new quests, maybe even the actual Twine Peaks quest line. Who knows what else they have in mind for us in the future. In fact, it appears that my hope was not misplaced. Magist has actually made a post on Reddit talking about all of the hot topics in the community surrounding this update. I won't read the entire thing, but I do want to point out a couple of things here. In regards to the locker update, Magist said, "We definitely understand the frustrations by everyone due to the delay, as it's been in the works and promised for quite a while now. We really want to make sure this feature lands in a good spot because we feel it's extremely important for Save the World." Well, Magist, I would completely agree with that. He went on to say that there are features that aren't cooperating with each other that need resolving before the system is rolled out. We're hard at work testing this internally, making sure that all critical issues are resolved and making further quality of life changes on the feature that we think everyone will like when it releases. Again, I think that's great. I want those issues worked out too. Now this is where the spiciness really comes in. Magist gave us an early look at some upcoming meta changes, including reducing the damage that propanes do to structures, reducing the distance that smashers begin to charge from, buffing underperforming weapons and traps, and increasing projectile speed for bows, buffing most damage dealing traps, including, and this is the spiciest bit, the ability to roll nature element traps to energy. He also advised that these changes would be coming in version 12. Alongside that, he said that the Winter Llama conversions were not meant to happen yet and talked about compensation for that. If you want to read the entire thread, I'm posting the link in the description below. So with all that being said, I'm going to close out this video with 2 messages. The first is directed to the community. The Save the World community is an incredibly passionate community. I know we just want what is best for the game, but please know that the devs and community managers want what's best for the game too. I know things look bleak right now, and I know a lot of you have lost trust in Epic after this, to the point that some of you are quitting the game. Trust me, I get it, but let's try to not lose hope here. It's going to be hard, but they love the game just as much, if not more than we do. Otherwise, the game would already be dead. They have been putting in so much work behind the scenes, more than we could possibly ever know, and I want to applaud them for everything they have done so far. I haven't lost hope yet. Please don't lose hope yourselves, commanders. It will get better. Ray hasn't lost hope against almost insurmountable odds. We should be more like that amazing little robot we have all come to love. We should all be trying our hardest to trust that Epic is going to fix this and make this good. They always have, and I have faith that they always will. Now, to Epic. Not that I think anyone at Epic will actually see this video, but just in case you do, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for creating this incredible game that we all love and for all of the work you have done on it so far. We know you're passionate for this game and this community. All we really want is just more communication. I know communication has been down across the board at Epic in regards to all modes since the beginning of Chapter 2 Season 1, and I don't know why it has. But just talk to us. Tell us what's going on. Let us in and trust that we will trust you even more and appreciate you even more if you just talk to us rather than giving us the radio silence we've had on a lot of issues. To Magist, Dave the Buck, any other community managers, and all the devs, thank you. Truly thank you for everything. We're looking forward to the locker completion, the meta changes, and everything you have coming for us in version 12 and onward. I'm not going to do the rest of my normal closing here. I'm just going to say that I know my opinions might be on the unpopular side of things, and honestly that's okay. It's good to have other opinions. My goal for this video was just to try to inspire some level of hope within the community. So I hope I've helped you all find that hope, even if it's just a little hope. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please don't lose hope, and stay cool, geeks. Have a great day.